हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, कैसे हो? एंजॉइंग योर हॉलीडेज, योर लॉकडाउन, घर में बैठ के? ओके, we'll start further. We have finished digestive system as well as respiratory system, and I have given you around 30 questions for the homework from nutrition, that is the digestion. But in that case, one of the students told me that I have not explained pancreas. Anyway, I'll just revise that portion. Pancreas. I told you that nutrition in human, that is the digestive system in human, there are three accessory digestive glands. And what are those? One is salivary gland, second is pancreas, and the third is liver. So these are three accessory digestive glands in addition to the glands which are present at the wall of the stomach, which are known as gastric glands, and the glands which are present on the wall of the small intestine, which are known as the intestinal glands. Now I must have told you these salivary glands, they secrete a secretion known as saliva, and in that saliva there is one enzyme known as salivary amylase. Now wherever the name amylase comes, कहीं भी amylase आता है तो उसका function होता है to digest the carbohydrates. So the function of the salivary amylase, which is present into the saliva, is to digest the complex carbohydrates into maltose, or you can say they digest the starch, which is a complex bigger molecule, that is a complex structure. This amylase convert the starch into sugar. ये मैंने उस दिन भी explain करा होगा. Second is pancreas. Now pancreas is located, next slide में I'll show you the diagram where what is the location of pancreas. Pancreas is located just below the stomach. Stomach के नीचे एक tree shaped gland है. Actually जैसे tree की branches होती हैं, इस तरह pancreas की branches होती हैं. So the pancreas, which is T shaped, situated just below the stomach, it secrete a very important juice which is known as a pancreatic juice. So ये pancreatic juice जो है, that is poured in the small intestine. ये कहाँ पे जाता है? Small intestine में, with the help of a duct which is known as a pancreatic duct. तो इस pancreatic juice में क्या क्या present है? One is trypsin is present. If you remember, in the gastric juice, pepsin is present. So pepsin is also a protease. जैसे मैंने तुम्हें बताया, amylase, कोई भी enzyme which digests the carbohydrates is known as amylase. Similarly, any enzyme which digests the proteins, that is known as a protease. So the name of the protease which is present in the pancreatic juice is known as a trypsin. So trypsin is present in the pancreatic juice, and the function of the trypsin is again to digest the protein. But in दोनों में function difference क्या है? Trypsin and the pepsin, about which we talked last time, that it is present into the gastric juice. The pepsin work in acidic medium, but जो trypsin है, it work only in the alkaline medium. So trypsin कौन से medium में work करती है? Alkaline medium. So I'll be telling you the detail of the trypsin, how the alkaline medium comes. Then another enzyme which is present in the pancreatic juice is lipase, and the function of the lipase is to digest the emulsified fat. Last time I must have told you what are emulsified fat. Again today I will be telling you, but here just remember the function of the lipase. Whenever the name lipase comes, that means digestion of a fat. Wherever the name protease comes, that is to digest the protein, and wherever the name amylase comes, that means the digestion of a carbohydrate. So the function of the lipase is to digest, to break down the emulsified fat. Now the third liver, which is the largest liver of the body of a human being. Human being की body में सबसे बड़ी जो gland है, that is liver. Now you know, last time I must have told you, this liver it secretes a secretion known as bile, and or you can say it's bile juice. This bile does not have any enzyme. Bile के अंदर enzyme नहीं होता, but it contains bile salts and bile pigments. Don't go into the detail. It contains bile salts, and the function of this bile salt is to create. This bile is poured into intestine. Like pancreatic juice is also poured into the intestine. Bile is also poured into the intestine. Okay, now the function of the bile is to make the medium in the intestine, in the small intestine, alkaline. So the alkaline food is there in the small intestine. What creates alkalinity? That is the bile salts. And I told you that the trypsin जो है, it can act on the on these proteins when the environment is alkaline. So how the alkalinity comes? With the help of a bile. Okay, and plus another function of the bile salt is the emulsification. Now emulsification means, उस दिन भी मैंने बताया होगा, the emulsification means a large fat globules, large fat droplets or the globules, they are converted into small globules. This process is known as emulsification. Emulsification is a process in which the large fat globules are converted into small globules, and naturally this bile salts are also in the intestine, small intestine. Pancreatic juice is also into the intestine. Alkaline medium is created, so trypsin digests the protein. And after the emulsification of the fat, you must have studied emulsification of in your 9th standard, जहाँ soap से कैसे how the soap take out the dust from the clothes. Okay, so that is the emulsification. These small globules which are formed after emulsification, the lipase act on those emulsified fat and convert them or digest them. Okay, now this is just a diagram. I think the similar type of diagram I must have shown you last time when we talked about the human digestive system. Now why I am showing it, just to tell you what is the location of the pancreas. See, ये stomach है, this is a stomach, and just stomach के नीचे ये elongated structure, small, it's not round or oval, it is elongated structure. दूसरी books में देखोगे तो it is a tree like structure. This is known as a pancreas. So pancreas की location, it is just below the stomach, plus just opposite to the stomach, नीचे नहीं. Stomach and the pancreas are present on the same side, but liver is present. This is a liver. It is present on the other side of the stomach, which has the gallbladder, but it is not there in your course. So this bile which is secreted by the liver, that goes into the small intestine. ये small intestine है, with the help of a duct known as the bile duct. Similarly, from the pancreas, the pancreatic juice is also poured into the small intestine with the duct which is known as a pancreatic duct. Okay, this is the role of the pancreas and the location of the pancreas. Another question I must have asked you, which is not there in your book, it is an additional information. I was thinking that it is given in your book, but it is not given in the book, but you must know it. So what is a chemosynthetic mode of nutrition, or it is also known as a chemoautotrophs. Chemosynthetic mode of nutrition is done by the chemoautotrophs. Just to give you an idea, we have already talked about autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means the organism which make their own food material. This autotrophic nutrition is of two types. इसकी दो तरह की है. One is one type of organisms, they are known as photoautotrophs. As the name indicates, photo means light. So these are the organisms, phototrophs are the organisms which make use of light energy, like plants. Plants make use of light energy to do the photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is done by the photoautotrophs. So plants are photoautotrophs. But there are certain organisms, the second type of organisms, which are again autotrophs, but they are chemoautotrophs because they don't use the light energy. They use the energy which is liberated because of certain chemical reactions. हमारी सेल के अंदर केमिकल रिएक्शंस होते हैं. सो सर्टन ऑर्गेनिज्म एंड ड्यूरिंग द केमिकल रिएक्शन, ये केमिस्ट्री में तुमने पढ़ा होगा, देयर आर एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन एंड द एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन. सो इन दिस केमिकल reaction some energy is released. The organism make use of the chemical energy to convert the inorganic substance into organic substance. Like from where they take the energy? They take the energy from the hydrogen sulfide as well as ammonia. This is just an additional information, and I think I have asked you in your homework, I have asked you one question regarding what are chemosynthetic mode of nutrition or chemoautotrophs. This is just an additional information which you must know. Okay. So this is about nutrition. Now I hope you will be able to do all those 30 questions which I have given you. In case you find any problem, you can always talk to me or just send a message to me. Today we will be talking about a very important aspect of the human body, that is transportation. This is the third life process. इस चैप्टर में हम कितनी लाइफ प्रोसेस पढ़ने वाले हैं? 4. 2 हमने ख़त्म कर दी, एक न्यूट्रिशन ख़त्म कर दी, एक रेस्पिरेशन ख़त्म कर दी. सो द थर्ड लाइफ प्रोसेस, दैट इज़ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, इन दिस ट्रांसपोर्टेशन what happen is the transporting medium is there. Transportation means एक जगह से चीज़ को दूसरी जगह ले जाना. So in that case the blood जो है, it transports various things. You must have studied in 9th standard that blood is a fluid connective tissue. Why it is known as a connective tissue? Because each cell of the body is connected to the blood. Each cell of the body is connected to the blood because cell is a living thing, and to remain alive it need oxygen as well as nutrition. But it is a fluid. ये flow करता है. So blood is a fluid connective tissue. This blood consists of two things. One is known as liquid part. That liquid part of the blood is known as blood plasma. So what is blood plasma? Blood plasma is the liquid part, and the other parts which are not liquid, they are known as the cells. You must have talked about RBC, that is red blood cells, WBC, white blood cells, etc. So the blood consists of liquid part which is known as the plasma, and certain cells are there which are known as the blood cells. Okay. Now the function of the plasma is to transport the food, because food is transported in a dissolved form, in plasma. So the function of plasma is to transport the food plus to transport the carbon dioxide from the cell towards the lung, to transport nitrogenous waste material. What are these nitrogenous waste material? About these we will be talking about in the fourth life process, that is excretion. Nitrogenous waste, remember this, nitrogenous waste material is a waste material which is found inside the cell because of many chemical reaction. Don't mix it with the undigested food material. Nitrogenous wastes are not undigested food material, but these are the certain poisonous substances which are produced because of chemical reaction. और chemical reaction कहाँ पे होता है? Cell के अंदर. So the function of the plasma is to transport the food to each and every cell, to transport the carbon dioxide from the cell towards the lung so that this carbon dioxide can be exhaled, to transport the nitrogenous waste material. It takes the nitrogenous waste material from the cell and that is excreted out through urine plus certain salts. So these are the things which are transported in a dissolved form by the blood plasma. The function of the red blood cells is to transport the oxygen. So oxygen is being transported with the help of RBC. तुमने देखा होगा red blood cell के अंदर one pigment is there which is known as a hemoglobin, and the function of the hemoglobin is to transport the oxygen. हमारा blood जो है वो red color का है. क्यों है red color का? क्योंकि इसमें एक pigment है, and the name of the pigment is hemoglobin. So the function of the RBC, as the name indicates, red, they are red in color, blood, they are in the blood, and cells, they are not liquid. So the function of the red blood cell is to transport the oxygen. Okay. Now our body is made up of millions and trillions of cells. Naturally all these things, the carbon dioxide, nitrogenous waste material, salts, food, oxygen, etc., that must go into each and every cell, and or that must be collected from each and every cell. Because of that, we need a pumping organ जो कि pump कर दे to the blood, pump the blood to all the organs of the body. So in our body there is a pumping organ, and the function of the pumping organ is to push the blood. ये blood को पूरी body में push करता है, but ये blood को push करता है तो blood जाता कहाँ पे है? Blood goes into certain tube-like structures which are known as arteries, veins or blood capillaries. ये मैं तुम्हें आगे बताऊंगी. So our body needs a pumping organ, and the function of that pumping organ is to push the blood to the body as well as to collect the blood from the body. For that, for supplying the blood to all the parts of the body, to all the cells, so there is a network of tube-like structures, and these tube-like structures are of three types: arteries, veins and blood capillaries. Now this is just the diagram of a heart. Now I'll explain this heart first with the help of a diagram, and then the detail will be there, that is just a repetition of this will be there in the next slide. Now ये heart जो है, it consists of, it is first thing you have to remember, it is a muscular organ. The heart is made up of muscles only. There are no cartilages, there are no bones. So it is a muscular organ, and इसका size is just a fist size. Fist size का मतलब है अपने हाथ को तुम बंद करो, जैसे मुट्ठी बनाते हैं, तो तुम्हारे हाथ की मुट्ठी के जितना हार्ट का साइज है. So its size is just the size of the fist. Okay, so it is muscular organ. Now this heart is divided into many compartments. इसके बहुत से ये compartment है, ये compartment है, ये compartment है, ये compartment है. So heart is made up of many compartments. अलग अलग rooms बने हुए हैं इसके अंदर. Okay, and why these rooms are there? So that the mixing of the oxygen rich and the carbon dioxide rich blood should not take place. The blood which has more oxygen is known as oxygenated blood. जिस blood के अंदर oxygen का amount ज़्यादा है उसको oxygenated blood बोलते हैं, और जिस blood के अंदर carbon dioxide ज़्यादा है उसको deoxygenated blood बोलते हैं. So to prevent the mixing of oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood, the certain compartments are there. अब कितनी compartments हैं? There are 4 compartments. ये heart में हमारे में there are 4 chambers. These are known as the heart chambers. These compartments are known as the heart chambers. So कितने heart chambers हैं? 4 heart chambers are there, and 2 heart chambers, they are present on the right side of the body and 2 are present on the left side. These are the right side. जो तुम्हारा right hand है, जो heart जो है उसका, that will be the left side. So अगर तुम्हारा right hand है, तुम्हारा right side इस side है, तो हार्ट का जो राइट साइड है वो तुम्हारे हाथ के ऑपोजिट साइड में होगा. दैट मीन्स तुम्हारा हाथ जिस साइड पे लेफ्ट हैंड है उस साइड पे हार्ट का जो साइड है दैट इज़ राइट, और तुम्हारा हाथ अगर राइट साइड पे है तो दैट इज़ द लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ द हार्ट. दिस यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. इट इज़ नॉट ओनली इन द हार्ट, इट इज़ इन ऑल द डायग्राम्स. ये लेफ्ट है, दिस इज़ लेफ्ट साइड, ये लेफ्ट साइड है, बट तुम देखोगे जब तुम ये स्लाइड देख रहे हो तो ये तुम्हारा राइट हैंड साइड है. So right hand side is the left side of the heart, and right hand side is the left side of our hand. So there are 2 upper chambers, 2 upper chambers हैं. One is known as the right atrium and the other is known as the left atrium. So the upper 2 chambers are known as जो लेफ्ट साइड पे है दैट इज़ लेफ्ट एट्रियम. रिमेंबर ये तुम्हारा इसके सामने कौन सा है? राइट हैंड है, एंड दिस इज़ राइट एट्रियम. इसके सामने तुम्हारा हाथ अगर तुम देखो तो इट विल बी लेफ्ट. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है क्योंकि बहुत से स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं ये डायग्राम को गलत लेबल कर देते हैं. सो ये तुम्हें उल्टा लेबल करना है. दिस इज़ लेफ्ट एट्रियम एंड दिस इज़ राइट एट्रियम. दीज आर द 2 चैम्बर्स. देन बिलो दैम नीचे जो है अगेन द 2 चैम्बर्स आर देयर विच इज़ one is on the left side which is left ventricle and it is the second is the right ventricle. So the four chambers are right atrium, right ventricle and the left ventricle. Now students, keep in mind that the left hand side जो है, चाहे वो लेफ्ट एट्रियम है चाहे वो लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल है, लेफ्ट साइड में हमेशा ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड होता है. लेफ्ट साइड में कौन सा ब्लड होता है? ऑक्सीजनेटेड. एंड राइट साइड में चाहे वो राइट एट्रियम है या राइट वेंट्रिकल है, जैसे ब्लू कलर दिखाया हुआ है, सो ब्लू कलर मीन्स इट इज़ डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड. डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड मीन्स कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इस ब्लड में ज़्यादा होती है. सो द राइट साइड ऑफ द हार्ट, that is right atrium as well as right ventricle, they have deoxygenated blood, and the left side of the heart, that is left atrium and the left ventricle, they have oxygenated blood. Now let us talk about ये arrows जो देख रहे हो, I am going to explain you these arrows. Please try to understand. कोई problem हो तो you can always give me a message. So what happened is the blood from the lungs में we have talked about, lungs में क्या होता है? ऑक्सीजनेशन ऑफ द ब्लड टेक्स प्लेस इन द लंग्स, क्योंकि लंग्स से लास्ट में लंग्स के अंदर सबसे छोटी जो सैक लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स है विच आर नोन एज द एल्व्यूलाई, द एक्सचेंज ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड द ऑक्सीजन टेक्स प्लेस इन द एल्व्यूलाई. ओके, सो एल्व्यूलाई के अंदर से ऑक्सीजन जो है वो अंदर जाता है ब्लड के और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बाहर निकलता है. So oxygenation of the blood takes place in the lungs. Now from the lungs, the oxygenated blood that comes towards the left atrium. So यहाँ पे ऊपर, I'll show you the slide, next slide. यहाँ पे lungs हैं, lungs में से oxygenated blood जिसमें ऑक्सीजन ज़्यादा है, oxygenated blood that comes with the help of two veins which are known as the pulmonary veins. Remember, these are veins, not arteries. So the oxygenated blood from the lungs is poured into the left atrium with the help of pulmonary veins. तुम देखो ये arrows जो है अंदर की तरफ है, ये भी arrows अंदर की तरफ है. So these arrows shows that the pulmonary veins, these are blood vessels. Pulmonary veins pour the oxygenated blood into the left atrium. ओके, अब ये लेफ्ट एट्रियम ये एक्सपेंड है, मतलब ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं हुआ. ओके, उसके बाद ये लेफ्ट एट्रियम जो है वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करता है, वो सुकड़ता है. एज ए रिजल्ट लेफ्ट एट्रियम से ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड मूव इनटू द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल, बिकॉज उस टाइम लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल इज एक्सपेंडेड, इट इज़ इन रिलैक्स्ड स्टेट. Now between the left atrium and the left ventricle एक opening है, एक pore है which is known as a bicuspid valve. ये तुम्हारी बुक में दिया नहीं हुआ, but as this is shown in the diagram, ये arrow जो है that means from the left atrium the oxygenated blood goes into left ventricle. ये कैसे जाएगा? ये जब left atrium contracts, जब contract करेगा तो blood तो कहीं force से किसी और जगह पे जाएगा. सो इस ओपनिंग के थ्रू विच इज़ गार्डेड बाय द बाइकस्पिड वॉल्व, द ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड एंटर्स इनटू द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल. नाउ व्हाट हैपन, द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. पहले क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर रहा था? लेफ्ट एट्रियम. व्हेन द लेफ्ट एट्रियम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, द ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड गोज इनटू द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल. नाउ व्हेन द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, अब ये लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा तो ब्लड जो है वो it goes out of the heart with the help of a blood vessel. देखो ये जो है ये लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल से एरो दिखा रहा है, ये यहाँ पे ब्लड वेसल में जाएगी. कौन सी ब्लड वेसल है? इट इज़ नोन एज एओटा. ये लेबल करा हुआ है, दिस इज़ नोन एज एन आयोटा. सो फ्रॉम द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल the blood vessel, the oxygenated blood enters into a blood vessel which is known as aorta, and aorta leaves the heart. ये aorta जो है it leaves the heart taking the blood, and this aorta supply the oxygenated blood to all the organs of the body. So this is regarding the left atrium and the left ventricle. Now after the blood is supplied to all the organs of the body, द डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड, वो ब्लड जो है वो ऑर्गन में जाता है, वो सेल में जाता है, सेल जो है उसको यूटिलाइज करते हैं और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का अमाउंट बढ़ जाता है. सो नाउ द डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड विच इज़ फॉर्म्ड इन डिफरेंट ऑर्गन्स, I will show you the slide, next slide. The deoxygenated blood which is formed in the organ, that is collected by the two blood vessels which is known as vena cava. This vena cava collects the blood. See, these vena cava don't supply the blood, they collect the blood, but aorta supplies the blood. Aorta supplies the blood to all the organs of the body, and this vena cava, lower vena cava or the inferior vena cava, it collects the blood from the lower side of the body, और हेड रीजन से या नेक रीजन से एक और वेन है वेना केवा which collects the blood from the upper side of the body. So the two major veins which are known as the vena cava of the upper side and the vena cava of the lower side, they collect the deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means जिसमें कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ज़्यादा है. So the vena cava, lower vena cava as well as upper vena cava, they collect the deoxygenated blood and pour this blood into the right atrium. तुम देखो ये right atrium है, तो ये एरो जो है ये नीचे इस साइड आ रहा है. दैट मीन्स ये वेना केवा जो है इट इज़ ऑल्सो पोरिंग द ब्लड इनटू द राइट एट्रियम, एंड ऊपर की जो वेना केवा है इट इज़ ऑल्सो पोरिंग द ब्लड इनटू द राइट एट्रियम. सो राइट एट्रियम हैज़ डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड, लेफ्ट एट्रियम में क्या था, ऑक्सीजनेटेड. सो राइट एट्रियम इज एक्सपेंडिंग, सो इट इज़ having the deoxygenated blood. When this right atrium contract, when the right atrium contract होता है, तो this deoxygenated blood through a valve, through an opening, okay, this opening is known as tricuspid valve. ये valve को क्या कहते हैं, bicuspid. Why we say bicuspid? क्योंकि यहाँ दो cusps हैं, दो valve हैं, so that is why it is known as bicuspid valve. यहाँ पे 3 cusps are there, 3 valve है, that is why this opening जो है it is known as tricuspid. It is guarded by tricuspid valve. So the deoxygenated blood from the right atrium enter into the right ventricle from the tricuspid valve. Okay. Now when this ventricle, right ventricle contract, right ventricle में कौन सा blood है, deoxygenated blood. When this right ventricle contract, the blood जो है goes out, ये देखो ये एरो से ये ऊपर जा रहा है, and this blood vessel which takes the deoxygenated blood from the heart is known as a pulmonary artery. देखो ये यहाँ से एरो गया, यहाँ एरो गया, और then this pulmonary artery divides into 2. This is one pulmonary artery, this is another pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery में blood कहाँ से आया, see this is an artery, which carries deoxygenated blood. So from the right ventricle a blood vessel arises which is known as the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood. कहाँ ले जाएगी इसको, lungs में. वो दोनों जो हैं, both these pulmonary arteries, they take the blood to the lungs. This is another pulmonary artery. They take the blood to the lungs. Lungs में क्या होगा, purification, oxygenation of the blood takes place. After this oxygenation of the blood, again the oxygenated blood with the help of the pulmonary vein enters into the left atrium, then left atrium से left ventricle through the bicuspid valve. Left ventricle से aorta जो है it takes the blood, supply the blood to all the organs of the body. Then the deoxygenated blood that is carried with the help of vena cava and is poured into the right atrium. Right atrium से blood through this valve enter into right ventricle. Right ventricle से the blood comes out through the pulmonary arteries, and this pulmonary artery take the blood to the lungs for oxygenation, right. So this is the structure of the heart and the blood circulation. Here again you have to remember something. See these are the wall of the ventricle. ये जो हैं ये ventricle की wall है, ये ventricle की wall है. बीच में क्या है, septum, that is partition, ये partition है, and these are the wall of the ventricle. You can see these walls जो हैं, ventricles की walls जो हैं वो thick हैं, and और atrium की जो wall हैं they are thin. So remember the wall of the atrium, चाहे वो left atrium है चाहे वो right atrium है, they are thin, but the walls of the ventricle they are thick. Why they are thick? Because the contraction of the heart, when the heart contracts, the ventricle has to push the blood in with a big force, so that the blood after going into the aorta should be supplied to all the organs of the body. Okay, so ventricles, they have to pour the blood into blood vessels, and these blood vessels always take the blood out of the heart into some organ. So उसके लिए एक force चाहिए. Like pulmonary arteries जो हैं, they pour the blood into the lungs. बाहर जाके ये जो aorta है, it supply the blood to all the organs of the body. So the blood must be there in these blood vessels, which should have a force. So that is the reason the wall of the ventricle, they are thick, because they are made up of muscles only. These are made up of muscles only. They are thick compared to the wall of the atrium. Now this is again a repetition which I told you. ये तुम्हें दोबारा से बताने के लिए मैं बता रही हूँ. The oxygen rich blood that is in the lungs. Lungs में oxygen rich blood है. ये oxygen rich blood, which is known as oxygenated blood, with the help of pulmonary veins, enter into the left atrium. Now they are thin walled. Initially they are relaxed. Okay, and when this left atrium, it contracts, the blood from the left atrium enter into the left ventricle, oxygenated blood. Okay, when this left ventricle contract, the blood is pumped to the body. Oxygenated blood is pumped into the body with the help of aorta. Okay, then उसके बाद body से deoxygenated blood, that is carried towards the heart. Towards which side of the heart? Right atrium, with the help of vena cava, that is the upper vena cava and lower vena cava. That means the right atrium जो है, it have which type of blood? Deoxygenated blood. Initially they are in a expanded form. So when this right atrium contract करेगा, तो the blood is poured into the right ventricle, because at that time the right ventricle is in a dilated form, is a expanded form. So the right atrium as well as right ventricle have which type of blood? Deoxygenated blood. So when the right ventricle contract, जब right ventricle contract करेगा, तो through the pulmonary arteries the blood goes into the lungs. किसके लिए? For oxygenation. That means the right atrium as well as the right ventricle, they have oxygenated blood, whereas left atrium as the left ventricle, they have oxygenated blood, whereas the right atrium and the right ventricle, they have deoxygenated blood. So this is the circulation of the blood, the structure of heart and the circulation of the blood. Right? Now this is just to show you how the circulation of the blood takes place. This is a heart. हार्ट में से रेड जो चीज़ है, दैट इज़ अ ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड. ये हार्ट में से आयोटा कम्स आउट. दैट मीन्स ये पहले तो ये लंग्स है. लंग्स में जो द एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस टेक्स प्लेस, ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड with the help of pulmonary vein from the lungs, the blood with the help of pulmonary veins enter into the left atrium. From the left atrium it goes to left ventricle. From the left ventricle, with the help of aorta, it is supplied to the body. Body के अंदर again the oxygenated blood, that means oxygen will be used, carbon dioxide will be released. As a result, the oxygenated blood gets converted into deoxygenated blood, and this deoxygenated blood is carried towards the right side of the heart, that is the right atrium, with the help of vena cava. So vena cava, they collect the blood from the body, whereas aorta supply the blood to the body. And then from the right ventricles, the blood, deoxygenated blood, that is taken towards the lungs, that is carried towards the lungs for oxygenation with the help of pulmonary arteries. So this is the structure of heart and the circulation of the blood. Now why there is a separation of oxygenation and the deoxygenated blood? ये oxygenated blood और deoxygenated blood सेपरेट क्यों होता है? द रीज़न इज़ द ऑर्गेनिज्म, दोज ऑर्गेनिज्म विच रिक्वायर मोर ऑक्सीजन एंड मोर एनर्जी, ओके, द एनिमल दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द नीड ऑफ द एनिमल। मोस्टली जो मैमल्स हैं और बर्ड्स हैं, मैमल्स और बर्ड्स में द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द ऑक्सीजन इज़ मोर बिकॉज दे रिक्वायर मोर एनर्जी। क्यों एनर्जी उनको बहुत ज़्यादा चाहिए? एक तो उनकी द बर्ड्स नीड मोर एनर्जी बिकॉज दे हैव टू फ्लाई, तो दे शो द लोकोमोशन, एंड फॉर दिस फ्लाइंग दे नीड मोर एनर्जी। एंड मैमल्स, नेचुरली मैमल्स ऑल्सो शो लोकोमोशन, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह भी जाना है, लोकोमोशन भी है, प्लस देयर बॉडी साइज इज complex. So as a result, the birds and the mammals, they need more energy. For that they need more oxygen. So there should not be any mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. That is the reason the mammals and the birds are the only group of animals. Mammals and the birds are only group of animals which have 4-chambered heart. 4-chambered हार्ट तुम्हें मैमल्स में दिखेगा या फिर बर्ड्स में दिखेगा, राइट? द रीज़न इज़ द आई टोल्ड यू दे ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड और डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड की मिक्सिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए, राइट? बट you must have studied this animal classification in the 9th standard. The amphibians and the reptiles. Amphibians में क्या होते हैं? Frogs. Reptiles में क्या होते हैं? Lizards, crocodile etc. यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी मिक्सिंग होती है, यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी मिक्सिंग होती है। क्यों कैसे मिक्सिंग होती है? बिकॉज इन एम्फीबियंस, दैट इज़ इन फ्रॉग एंड टोड्स एंड इन रेप्टाइल्स, द हार्ट इज़ नॉट 4-chambered। ये मैमल्स और बर्ड्स में हार्ट इज़ 4-chambered, यहाँ हार्ट 4-chambered नहीं होता, हार्ट इज़ 3-chambered। हार्ट इज़ 3-chambered। सो कौन कौन से चैम्बर इसमें होते हैं? 2 ऊपर के एट्रिया होते हैं, लेफ्ट एट्रिया एंड द राइट एट्रिया। सो बट उनका वेंट्रिकल एक ही है, वेंट्रिकल एक ही है। सो द मिक्सिंग ऑफ द ऑक्सीजनेटेड एंड द डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड टेक्स प्लेस इन द वेंट्रिकल। एज ए रिजल्ट उनकी बॉडी में जो ब्लड फ्लो करता है, इट इज़ नॉट प्योर ऑक्सीजनेटेड, इट इज़ मिक्स्ड ब्लड, इट इज़ मिक्स्ड ब्लड, क्योंकि इनकी एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट इज़ लेस compared to mammals and birds. Their oxygen requirement is less compared to mammals and the birds. So remember, in amphibians and in reptiles, the mixing of the blood takes place. Why? Because the heart is not 4-chambered, heart is 3-chambered. कौन कौन से 3 चैम्बर हैं? 2 एट्रियम है और 1 वेंट्रिकल है, ओके। बट इन फिशेस में देखो तो हार्ट इज़ नॉट 3-chambered, हार्ट इज़ 2-chambered। फिशेस के हार्ट में जो ब्लड है वो सिर्फ डीऑक्सीजनेटेड होता है। एक एट्रियम है, एक वेंट्रिकल है, एक ही एट्रियम है, एट्रियम में कौन सा ब्लड होगा? डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड। एक ही वेंट्रिकल है, तो वेंट्रिकल में ब्लड कौन सा होगा? डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड, क्योंकि वेंट्रिकल में ब्लड जो है वो एट्रिया से ही जाता है। सो द ब्लड इन द फिशेस इज डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड इन द हार्ट, एंड दिस डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड goes to the gills. When this deoxygenated blood in the fishes from the heart comes out, it moves or it covers the gills, so it goes to the gills for oxygenation. So gills में oxygenation होता है। ऊपर हमारे अंदर क्या था? lungs थे for oxygenation। fishes में क्या है? gills are for oxygenation. So gills में कौन सा blood या deoxygenated blood, and उसमें oxygenation of the blood takes place, and then oxygenated blood pass to the body, and the deoxygenated blood again goes to the heart. Which chamber of the heart? Atria. From the atria it goes to the ventricle, from the ventricle it goes to the gills के अंदर oxygenation of the blood takes place, and the oxygenated blood goes to the body of a fish, and then again the deoxygenated blood enters into the heart. So in fishes the heart is 2-chambered, in amphibians and the reptiles the heart is 3-chambered, whereas in mammals and the bird heart is 4-chambered. Now in fishes it is known as a single circulation, क्योंकि एक ही बार deoxygenated blood enters into right atrium, then into right ventricle, then it goes to the gills. But in other vertebrates, like in other amphibians, reptiles, mammals and the bird, it is known as double circulation. Why it is known as double circulation? Because the same blood has to pass the heart twice. Deoxygenated blood goes to heart, atrium, ventricle, lungs for oxygenation. Again from the lungs, that blood comes to the left atrium, then to the left ventricle, then to the goes to the whole body through aorta. That means the same blood moves 2 times. That is why in other vertebrates except the fishes, the circulation of the blood is known as double circulation, but in fishes it is known as single circulation. Okay, so we finish up, students, here. Next time we will talk about the next life process. Okay, so bye, have a good day.